All right, Sister Lisa, at this time, if you'll come, she's going to share with us. Now, I believe we are on track. This is the final? Is this the last one? If not, we can do another one or so. But so we're not on a hard, fast timeline. So if you need another week or whatever, we can do that, okay? But come on today. Let me get the mic ready for you.
I have a special reader for me today.
You do?
I do.
Oh, Tommy's going to do it for you?
Tommy's going to do it for me.
Cool. That'll work.
Now?
Yes. Okay.
That'd be good if I'm heard, right?
That would be good, yes.
Okay, so this is day 3, titled My Cup of Tears. And it starts out with a quote by Ann Weems. It says, "How large a cup of tears must I drink, O God? How much is enough?" Ann Weems' Psalms of Lament come straight from the deep heartache of her son's death. Her psalms, based on the Psalms of the Hebrew Scriptures, are honest, gutsy, keening cries of distress. These prayers remind me that through the ages, hurting people have raised their anguished voices to God. These voices have been filled with questions, demands, accusations, and beseechings. They have implored, begged, and pleaded with God. I used to be too nice with God when I was feeling like a broken cup. I realize now that not being honest with God about my situation only added to my anger and hostility. Keeping it all inside, trying to hide it, benefited no one, and only generated more self-pity and resentment. I do not believe that God sends suffering. Suffering happens because of our human condition, and because of the way that transformation occurs with its natural emotional response when pain is intensely penetrating. Nope, I skipped a line. I do not believe that God sends suffering. Suffering happens because of our human condition and because of the way that transformation occurs with this natural cycle of life, death, life. Still, this reality does not take away my human emotional response when pain is intensely penetrating, nor does it cease my hope that God will somehow choose a miracle on my behalf. The Jewish Psalms have taught me a lot about how to pray when life is tough. The psalmist yells, screams, pokes a finger at God now and then in accusatory blame. The psalmist wonders why God isn't making some changes. Once the emotional tirade of woes is over, then another equally valuable part of the prayer comes. The psalmist closes by expressing confidence and hope in God, trusting that all shall eventually be well. The prayer style of the Psalms assures me of how good it is to be honest with myself, as well as with God, and to count on God's healing presence to eventually bring me peace of mind and heart. Every nook and cranny of our lives, no matter how painful, deserves God's attention. Psalm 56 addresses God with this reassurance. You have put my tears in your bottle. In other words, God gathers our pain and struggle and holds it compassionately. It is good to bring God our tears. God can catch them and hold them with care until we find our inner peace again.
When I had my stroke 6 years ago, I was angry with God. I didn't think I deserved to have a stroke. I didn't think I deserved to be in the bed, unable to move, having my right side completely unanswerable to me. And I started out with tears, because this should not have happened to me. I didn't do anything to make it happen to me.
Right.
It wasn't fair, God. It wasn't fair. And then I stopped and thought and remembered my favorite Old Testament book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm the word one. My favorite Old Testament book is the book of Job. That's unusual. I know that. But the book of Job tells me that Job was blessed by God.
Yes.
And Satan came to talk to God, and God said, look at my man Job, how good he is, how much he loves me.
Yes.
And Satan said, let me have him. He won't be praising you quite so much. And God said, you can do anything you want to with him, but you cannot take his life. Well, if you've read the book of Job already, you'll know. Satan started off with banners flying to make God understand that Job only liked him because he was good to Job.
Right.
And Job was sitting there at dinner, and someone came running into the house and said, your children are dead, your children are dead.
Yeah.
He said, what? He said, they were having dinner, and the roof fell in on them,
Yeah.
and they were all dead. And he said, oh no, how can this have happened? And then someone else came running in and said, the wolves had taken your sheep and they've devoured them all. He said, what happened? And things went like this for a while. And now Job had some friends, such delightful friends he had, who told him, you've done something really bad, Job.
Right.
Or God wouldn't let these things happen to you.
Right. Right.
And Job said, I didn't do anything wrong. He said, well, you better think about it, because you've done something to really make God upset at you. Job could not think of anything he had done. And finally he said, God, why are you doing this to me? Why? I have been faithful. I have done everything according to your directions. Why? Why am I being persecuted this way? Why are you doing this to me? And God said, little man, who do you think you are to talk to me that way? I'm God. You're not. Well, Job kept on going. Why? And I can remember a time when things were bad happening to me.
Uh-huh.
I was married and had a lovely daughter. and my husband got sick. He had had rheumatic fever as a child that was not diagnosed, and so he had been having heart problems ever since. And he was one more time in the hospital, and the doctor, bless his heart, looked at me and said, well, you know, in situations like this, sometimes if we cut off the machines, the heart will start back up again. I can't promise. But would you want me to, is this the way he would want to end his life, laying in a hospital bed? I said, no, he was a very active person. He would not want that. He said, well, do you want me to try cutting off the machines? And I stopped and I thought, no, he does not want to lay in a hospital bed for the rest of his life, whatever that is. So I told the doctor, yes, cut it off. But he sent me down to the cafeteria with the chaplain. He said, feed her.
Yeah.
And when I came back, of course, my husband was no longer alive. I kept saying, but God, he was such a wonderful man. Why did you do this? Why?
Yeah.
Our question always seems to be, why? And I read Job again. Who do you think you are talking to?
Yeah.
Were you there when I laid the foundations of the world? Did you see me put the stars in the sky? Can you tell me where the snow is stored when it's not needed? No. But don't talk to me. I will talk to you. And God did. And showed me such marvelous things in this book of Job. Come, let me show you the place that I have made for the wild donkeys, so they never have to feel the bite of a driver's whip. See the okay. See the ostrich, how she lays her egg and walks away from it like it's nothing to her. And I will watch that egg, and it will be born a new ostrich. And look at these. The book of Job is a marvelous book of God's love for his creatures.
Yes.
Including us. Even when we fill up our cup of tears.
Yes.
He's there, comforting. We don't need to treat God with kid gloves.
Right.
God created us. And if we get mad at God, he still loves us.
Yeah.
How can we imagine that? That he will still love us.
Yes.
When we are pounding our heads against the brick wall,
Yeah.
saying, why are you doing this to me, God? And God knows we didn't do it to us. But it was a test to see if we could believe, even in times of trouble.
Yeah.
Even in times where we didn't understand what was going on and we were screaming. And guess what? God doesn't care if we scream. God's right there collecting our tears
Yes.
in a bottle.
Yes.
There's in ancient times, tears were collected in bottles because they were precious, because they were true feelings, not something pretend
Right.
that we could turn on and off. I know God filled up some pretty big cups when I was in the hospital, trying to learn to stand up, trying to learn to walk again, and saying, God, why are you doing this to me? And he said, look at Job. And how much do we have? How many tears do we have to swallow? How deep does our cup of tears have to be? It's up to us. It's up to us how deep that cup of tears is. But one of the things we have to remember is that we don't have to play nice with God.
Yeah.
As long as we know who we're playing with.
Right.
As long as we know
Yeah.
that this is the God who made us. The God who created this world. I didn't bring my picture frame with my psalm that I wrote after my stroke, after I came out of the stroke. But it was a thank you to God for being with me,
Yeah.
even when I didn't like him,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but still loved him.
Yeah.
And this is why the book of Job is my favorite Old Testament book. And when I tell people that, they look at me like I'm here. Well, they're right. But this is something that I had to learn. I had to learn that it's okay to be angry. It's okay to talk back to God, because God understands who I am
Yes.
and what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling, and loves me anyway.
Yes.
Who loves me as I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is one of this particular section, my cup of tears, means so much to me. I can cry my tears in the daytime, in the middle of the night, whenever, and God will be there catching me in a bottle, because he knows that it's because of my love for him that I'm able to do this.
Yes.
And our instructions are, draw the cup of your tears with teardrops falling into the cup. The teardrops are words that are spoken to God's ear. How have you experienced God when you have been deep into the tough things?
Yes.
And the prayer they gave today for this is, sheltering presence, come with your comforting embrace and catch my tears with your compassionate love. Be near with your protecting refuge. Heal the place within me that cries out to be freed from pain. Hold me close to you and hear my yearning for peace. Amen. And because it's very, very small and very, very short, I've got another cup. This is the unmendable cup. And the picture that I have shows a cup that the handle is broken. You can't very well use a cup with a broken handle. And yet you can. Both my parents died without any reconciliation between us. I, their only child, did not live up to their expectations, nor did they to mine. I wish it had not been this way, and that we had been able to make a reconciliation. But that did not happen. My mother married for the second time when I was 8 years old. I know now the problems of my father. He was in World War II. He was a Marine in World War II. I know now from the time that I've spent at the VA hospital dealing with some of the patients there that he was suffering from
PTSD.
post-traumatic stress syndrome. But he was impossible to live with. He was cruel. He was part of the PTSD was that he could not stand to have the family in separate rooms. He had to know where everyone was every moment. And that caused so much strife in the family. And when I got word from family that he had died, I called Martin, because Martin had heard me talk a lot about my stepfather. And I said, well, I've been told you only speak good of the dead. He's dead. Good. And I was proud of myself for not buying a ticket to Michigan so I could dance on his grave. That's how bad things were between us. I can't forgive him for the things he did to our family. I have sisters who are going to have problems for the rest of their lives because of what he did to them as small children. For me, this is the unmendable cup. He's gone. I try not to think of him very often. But it's an unmendable cup. No matter what anybody says to me, it doesn't make a change. And this is something I will have to live with. I will have to look within myself every once in a while and say, he did the best he could.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best I can do. But there are times when things happen in our lives that are not mendable. And this comes with a breath prayer. Breathing in, let the past be. Breathing out, let the past be. Ponder the cup as it lays beside you. Is there something that you can do to make a difference? Are you at peace with the cup as it is? Pick up the cup and hold it upright in your hands. Ask God to give you peace and the courage to let the past be the past.
Yes.
Amen. I'm going to try to close with this song, and I'm not doing this because I think I'm a great singer. I'm doing it because I think the message of it will work along with what Sister Lisa shared today. So pray for me as I try to sing this old song. Often you wonder why tears come into your eyes and burdens seem to be much more than you can stand. But God is standing near. He sees your falling tears. Tears are a language God understands. God sees the tears of a broken hearted soul. He sees your tears and he hears them when they fall. God weeps along with man, and he takes him by the hand. Tears are a language God understands. Aren't you glad for that today? Amen. When grief has left you low, it causes tears to flow, and things have not turned out the way that you had planned. But God won't forget you. His promises are true. Tears are a language God understands, but sees the tears of a broken hearted soul. He sees those tears, and He hears them when they fall. God weeps along with man as He takes him by the hand. Tears are a language God understands. God weeps along with man as He takes him by the hand. Tears are a language God understands. Amen. Praise the Lord. Amen. Tears are a language that God understands. Hope it's okay.